America did what America does best, turned a university event into a crime scene and a national nervous breakdown. Charlie Kirk took a bullet in Utah, and the country did what it always does. Sprinted past grief and sprinted straight into weaponized narratives. Left blames right's rhetoric, right blames left's extremism. The rest of us stare at the abyss and wonder how the timeline got this cursed. Meanwhile, prosecutors walk to the podium with the receipts, a rifle, DNA, a rooftop, and the sort of text messages you wish were fiction. Utah County says the suspect is Tyler Robinson, 22, and they're going for the death penalty. The story writes itself, and still nobody learns. The only thing bipartisan in America is the speed with which everyone decides their side is innocent and the facts are optional. So here's the spine. Prosecutors say Robinson fired from a rooftop near Utah Valley University. A clean distance shot, one round, one life, one country set on fire again. Then they lay out the digital trail, the confessional text to a roommate who was also a romantic partner, identified as transgender, and whose cooperation appears to have helped police reconstruct the timeline. Spare me the culture war bait. Being trans didn't pull the trigger. A man did. The messages don't absolve. They illuminate. They show planning, panic, and a conscience spluttering like a dying engine. The paper trail starts before the shot with what court docs say the roommate found, a note under Robinson's keyboard. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. That's not politics. That's premeditation dressed like a manifesto. And when the nation went full whodunit, prosecutors say the text kept coming. Instructions about retrieving or leaving a rifle, a scope, bullets allegedly engraved with political messages, even wrapping the weapon in a towel. Messages detailing retrieve a rifle, left in a bush, towel wrap, and mentions of a scope and engraved rounds. Then, as the dragnet tightened, there's the digital confession that bounces round Discord like a cursed chain letter. One message. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all this. Short, cold, not even capitalized. If remorse had a ringtone, it wouldn't ping this flat. Prosecutors also describe contemporaneous texts to the partner, acknowledging he was the shooter, while authorities were still hunting a suspect. Somewhere between bravado and collapse, the human part flickers, but not enough to put the bullet back in the barrel. Now watch the political industry slot this into its Lego set. The right sprints to left-wing terror, case closed, as if stochastic violence only points one direction. The left sprints to rhetoric has consequences, which is true, and still a deflection from the fact that a human being chose a rifle over a life. The prosecutors, to their credit, don't do vibes. They do charges, aggravated murder, obstruction, witness tampering, including, they say, instructing the partner to delete messages and keep quiet. That's not ideology. That's a cover-up attempt, and a rubbish one. Motives. Prosecutors say the texts cite resentment toward Kirk's rhetoric, opposition to what the suspect viewed as anti-LGBTQI+ hate, and that's the part where America fails every time. Because the instant motive feels legible, the internet turns it into a team sport. One side makes a martyr of the victim, the other dehumanizes the shooter, and both sides mine the corpse for content. But the facts don't bend to your feed. A man is dead. A suspect is in cuffs. A partner, who, officials emphasize, is not suspected of involvement, cooperated, turned over messages, and by all accounts looked shocked and aghast. That partner now gets thrown to the wolves by grifters who can't distinguish between evidence and identity. Vultures don't care what the label says on the carcass, they just eat. Here's the ugliest symmetry. The same ecosystem that insists speeches are bullets suddenly argues bullets are speeches. Politicians whose entire business model is outrage laundering will now fundraise off trauma. Organizations will staple the murder to their mailing lists. TV panels will do moral arithmetic on air as if a man's life were a pie chart. Meanwhile, prosecutors put down markers like bricks, DNA on the trigger, rooftop firing position, messages acknowledging responsibility, death penalty eligibility. You don't have to like the system to recognize when it's doing its job. So let's catalogue what we actually have, not what everybody wishes were true. We have an accused shooter. We have charging documents and a press conference. We have text evidence presented by prosecutors, the pre-incident note about "take out Charlie Kirk," the private messages about a stashed rifle and gear, and the short-form confession on Discord. "It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all this." We have the allegation of witness tampering. I delete the messages, stay quiet, which prosecutors say was directed at the partner. We have media outlets repeating the same core, confession texts, cooperation by the partner, and a legal case that will be tried in an actual court, not on a live stream. What we do not have and what you should ignore like spam are doxed names that aren't in official filings, speculative dead names, or culture war fairy tales designed to harvest your cortisol. If a source can't back a quote with a document or a prosecutor's mic, bin it. The oxygen of this story is already thin. Don't breathe fumes. Now, the satire. Because the only way to tell the truth in this climate is to lace it with venom. America, land of the free and the home of the bad take, has managed to turn "don't shoot people" into a partisan wedge. The same influencers who swear that words can't hurt you are posting speeches like Molotovs, and the same influencers who swear that words can kill are suddenly passing a literal killing for narrative points. Congratulations to all participants. You've industrialized hypocrisy. Somewhere there's a factory where they press mold outrage into neat little talking points, shrink wrap it in red or blue, and ship it next day prime to your frontal lobe. To the figures milking this tragedy, you're not advocates, you're arsonists selling hoses. To the online sleuths, you're not detectives, you're rumour sprinkler systems drenching the innocent. To the pundits who can't pronounce probable cause but can say radicalised in under a second, go read a charging document before you touch a microphone. To the class of political entrepreneurs who treat grieving families like set dressing, if there's a hell it has a donor wall with your names carved in platinum. But because we are real, not left, not right, just allergic to lies, we'll say the plain thing. The texts matter. They're not vibes, they're evidence. The pre-event intent, "I'm going to take it," is the bullet leaving the brain long before the barrel left the roof. The post-event confession, "it was me, I'm sorry," is the conscience trying to power cycle after the damage is done. The logistics texts about rifles, towels, scopes, and engraved bullets sketch a blueprint that prosecutors love and defense attorneys lose sleep over. Strip away the discourse cosplay and you've got a basic, brutal shape. Planning, shooting, confession, clean-up attempt, arrest. The rest is theatre. And yes, the state is coming hard. Death penalty notice, aggravated murder, obstruction, witness tampering. They lined up the charges like dominoes. Whether you support capital punishment or think it's barbaric, the government just told you how seriously it's taking the case. If you're going to argue with that, bring evidence, not memes. Let's finish where adults live, with accountability that doesn't need a jersey. If your first instinct when somebody is murdered is, "how do I make this about my enemies?" you're part of the machinery that keeps making more dead people. If your first instinct when the facts cut against your tribe is to deny the texts, deny the DNA, deny the rooftop, you're not skeptical, you're superstitious. Facts are not Tinder. You don't get to swipe left on the ones you don't like. So here's our position, and it's boring because truth usually is. A man is dead. A suspect will face evidence in court. The texts presented by prosecutors are short, ugly, and devastating. I'm going to take it. It was me. I'm sorry. Messages about the rifle, the scope, the towel, the engraved rounds, the partner, per officials, cooperated. They're not accused. The state says motive was political resentment. The defense will have its day. The country will have its tantrum. In the meantime, we'll keep doing the unpopular thing, reading documents, quoting sparingly, and refusing to turn a killing into a campaign ad. If that makes us the only adults at the wake, fine. Someone has to lock up after the circus leaves.